Alright, this is how I do the nose for the Candyman. First of all, I give all the students one of these pieces of wood, and on one side I have them cut an X, corner to corner, to find the center. The other side I have them draw with a pencil, an X. This side's going to be where the live center goes into. This side's going to be where the sprue goes into. Then I have the students come here. We can line up the cut X with the sprue. And we can push the tailstock forward. My tailstocks have wrenches to move them forward and back. Sometimes you have to loosen it, give it a tap, and we can bring it forward. Once it's touching, you can tighten the tailstock. And I normally take the wrench and I set it down below just so it's not in my area. I can grab the wheel on the tailstock and I can start cranking it in until everything is pressed together nice and tight. I know it's nice and secure in there, and I'm going to tighten the tailstock lock. At this point, I'm going to see if I can get a full rotation here. My tool rest is in the way, so I'm going to bring the tool rest back a bit just so it spins freely. There. I'm going to make sure that the tool rest height is just below center on my material, so the blade of my chisel will make up the difference. I always have the students wear a face shield as well as safety glasses on here. I also make sure that their hair is tied back and there's no jewelry and sleeves are rolled up. I have the students start with either a gouge or a half round over. Then I'll instruct the students to hold the chisel so the long end of the chisel is under the arm for support, and your opposing hand is within this channel. Okay, so I tell them you can hold it like this. I also say you can hold it like this. Okay, as long as we have support against this tool rest and our arm is on top of this handle. On these lathes, you can turn them on at 2 different locations. There's a mag switch at the back side, and also over here, there's a switch at the end of the motor. What I have the students do is round this over just to the center of the piece of stock. That way, if they go too far, they don't waste the stock. They can round over the other side so it fits inside of the gumball machine body. Okay, I make these here instead of outside calipers, and they can just keep coming along and checking if this fits. I always tell the students to turn off the lathe before checking if this fits over. I'm getting fairly close here, so I'm going to take one more pass. Okay, it fits over nicely. So now I can take my gumball machine body and I can see if it fits inside. So you can see it still doesn't fit, so at this point I have them keep machining it or sanding it until the point that it fits in perfectly. this point I could actually make it fit, but it's very, very tight. So I would take this out, place it back into the lathe. This time I'm going to remove the tool rest. I'm going to take my sandpaper, and I'm going to sand this until it fits. This could get moved right out of the way, just so we have as much free room in here for our hands as possible. Okay, now it fits in perfectly and there's not much movement. At this point, as a teacher, I'll take my pencil and their block and I make a line like that. Now I can place it back in. Tighten it into place. Put the tool rest in as close to the material as possible. And I have this gouge with these blue lines on it. It has a special narrow tip. I use this to make this notch. This notch here is for a pin that's going to be inserted into the body later to hold the nose in place. Once I'm at this point, I tell the students they can make a design in this section here, whatever they want, as long as they don't touch this because it's precision machined. Once they have their design done, they can sand it, and then I come along and I round over the end for them. And at that point, they can cut whatever is off and finish sanding it by hand, or by hand.